Hey, this is Hans from Request for Music, and this is the video for Mechz. And I already showed you something in the video on amps, but this is the separate video for Mechz. So let's put it in here. And Mechz has a sorry, still the flu. Mechz has a large display. It has a couple of inputs, it has a couple of outputs, and a lot of knobs. And this is where it actually happens, of course, because what it is, it's not a modal synth or modal oscillator like rings, although it gives you the same sort of sound, but it creates it in a different way. It's not modal resonators that run. It's instead sort of an energy field where all of these nodes are receiving energy, and they are connected by strings, and the combination of those nodes receiving energy and the strings that resonate, so it does do that, of course, then it creates sound. And the dynamic field which is running here has a tune, a pitch amount that you can put, that you can set, an inject that injects energy as soon as it receives a gate. It has a drive setting, a stiff setting, a dampness, or a damp setting, a gain, which is your master level, so to speak. It has two switches, one for the topology, the way that they're connected, the pickup, and for the rest there's a mass, a rest, and a leak setting, and a listen. The listen part is where you actually put your pickup in that chain of nodes and strings. So, well, let's first of all, let's hook up just a button to the gate and hook up this to, and you already heard some sound. And if I connect or if I push the button, I'm in the bell setting, and you can hear that it sort of gives you a bell sound. And of course there is a tune setting in here, but actually the tuning itself is not done only by the tuning, but it's also done by the mass. So if I turn the mass up, it's going to give you a lower sort of a bell, and the stiffness, if I take that down, is going to create an even lower frequency. The damping, of course, damps the sound, but it's also dependent of the drive. Drive is sort of a self-sustaining amplifier in there. So if I put this up, it can sort of take longer before it dies out, but then of course you have this damping. So if I take this back, it's going to stick there for a while. So apart from this topology, let's take that drive back so it behaves more like a normal envelope kind of thing. I can set my topology to another setting. So you see that the way that the nodes are connected changes, and that also changes the sound. And I'll take the inject back. Then you hardly hear anything, because the inject is sort of the plucking kind of thing. So if I put in more inject, you get a louder sound. And if I take it out like this, I get a softer bell. So let's take damping up, stiff, and this. So something like that. And as said, the topology changes. The random input actually changes the topology setting, or at least it does that for the pickup in a bell and in drum setting. In string it will be different. So in here I can get sort of a small kind of bell, and again if I put some injection in there, it will give you more of an attack. If I instead set this to the string setting, it might give you some noise at some point. There's a lot of changes going on in that total field. One of the things that I didn't handle yet was the rest, and the rest is sort of, in this case, it gives you a difference in the string setting, because as you can see, it's sort of a string that you connect. And let's inject some sound in there as well. Put the drive up, take the stiffness out, take the mass down, and take the damping out. Take the tune up, change the mass up, so I get this kind of sound. This will not change depending on topology. It will change though on the rest setting, where you get a different sort of sound, and then obviously you can take stuff like your tuning back and change the setting of the drive and the damp and the stiff and all of that kind of setting. The top setting for this pickup is the drum setting, where it's not really normal drum. It all has sort of a bellish kind of sound in there, but you can try to create sort of a marimba kind of thing by changing the damp, take the drive out, and play with that a bit. Of course, it can respond to pitch, so if I take my pitch from my sequencer and take the gate, and there is a pitch amount setting, and the pitch amount is, it goes from 0 up to 1, where 1 is actually the setting that it will really have a normal setting for pitch behavior. So I have a C key going on here. But of course, by all of the inharmonicities that are in the sound, it will always sound a bit different than you might expect. It's not, how would I say that? Because it's an energy field. There's a lot going on, and it will always sound very organic and behaving in maybe a different way than you might expect. Also, if you want to tune it, you really have to play around with all these settings, like tune, like mass, all that kind of stuff to see if you can work it out. Well, I have it hooked up to ambience, so let's put some ambience in there. Because that's when that shines. You see and let's also change the topology behavior by adding a gate into the random settings, so the topology changes. It will not, if I have it at string, you'll see it will change a little, but not as heavy as it will change for the others. If I take this out, on the other hand, and go to a normal rest setting, let's not reset it, the listen part changes, especially on the string, how you listen to the sound. So a lot of options to play with, and yeah, you could of course use LFOs to drive force, stiff, and damp in there. Um, the energy in the end is sort of an overall energy value that is creating or that is created from this field, and you can always use this to drive something else. So in this case, I'm driving the ambience from this, or maybe the shift or the color or whatever. But you hear that it's working better on the ambience. So yeah, that's basically what Mechz is. It is a pretty experimental module, although you can use it for melodies. And anyway, I hope you like it, and it'll be in the stores within a couple of days, I guess. So I'll see you back in the next video. So cheers for now. Bye bye.